I had always been a fighter, and I never give up, and I don't take no for an answer. You shouldn't either. This fiery determination in me comes from my culture, but more specifically from my father. Being a Turkish immigrant in Holland, growing up here was not easy for me. I had to fight for everything I got here. My father wasn't a traditional Turkish man. He encouraged us to study, to be independent, especially economically. His most favorite expression was, "Don't ever forget your diploma is your husband." Which means that you don't have to hold on to a man for the money or security. And we worked hard. We did that, as he said. And these lessons would help us in the difficult times ahead. Because as an actress in my career, I always was labeled as a Turkish actress, Turkish columnist, Turkish cabaret performer. And after 9/11, that became a Muslim actress, and so on. Making a living with so limited options was difficult. I had to be a fighter. The critics praised me for my acting roles, but the big roles I dreamed of never came. But then I heard my father's voice saying, "Funda, never give up." He was a survivor too, and I got that from him. And he said, "Stand on your own feet." Yes. Well, like I said, these lessons would help me in the difficult times ahead. So, my country, the place of my birth, Turkey, has always been a lovely experience to me to go there. I'm proud of my culture and background and my ancestry, and Istanbul has a special place in my heart. So, in 2007, I went to Istanbul to visit my family and explore new creative projects there. Picture with me. A young rich man with his driver's license for just 2 weeks behind the wheel of his shiny new car, racing down the Istanbul highway. While driving, he challenged another man. "Hey, you want to race?" They both raced, coming towards me in my taxi, minding my own business. Little did I know that in the next few seconds, I would be involved in a major 6-car accident. And I was the only severely injured, leaving with spinal cord injury. There I was with my new body. I hadn't or didn't have a clue about spinal cord injury. I had to rediscover my physical abilities completely. The medical approach of spinal cord injury worldwide is like this. First, they look what is the level of your injury. Then, are the nerves cut totally or partially damaged? In my case, it was partially damaged, but that was a good thing, so my hope to walk again was realistic. But the medical treatment is that the doctors want to prepare you that you never will walk again. They want to set you the expectations and not giving false hope. Funda, you might stand a bit, maybe even walk a bit, but let's prepare you, you never can walk again. Hey, not giving false hope is one thing, but stealing your hope is another. This didn't sit well with me, not at all. Despite innovation and advancements in the medical world that say that nerves can regenerate, the treatments doesn't reflect this and didn't change for the last 50 years. At least that's my experience. So I didn't accept this diagnosis sitting down. Lucky for me, Frank walked into my life. He was a passionate physiotherapist who supported me. He understood my will and desire to recover, and really pushed me to work hard for it. One day, I was in the swimming pool, feeling sorry for myself, when he challenged me. He said, "Fundi, did you try to walk? I am paralyzed, man. Walk?" I was happy that I could keep my head above the water and not sink like a stone. But he said, "No. Try to begin to visualize it. Your brains will remember how to walk." And he actually swam under the water and started to move my legs. Frank did believe more in my body than I did. And that made me stronger to go on. Now I want to get all the therapies I could, including the alternative therapies. The Japanese kinesiotaping, craniosacral therapy, foot reflexology, acupuncture, and so on and so on. The medical profession didn't support these therapies. But hey, then everything was a struggle and a battle. And besides, they gave me mixed messages. They said, "Funda, you are the director of your own recovery." Finally, I was the leading role in my own movie. But whenever I suggested to have more therapy, they say no. Even when I beg, they say just no. And then I pleaded, I argued, I begged, until they said yes to the most amazing walking machine ever, the Locomat. Locomat changed my life. It helps people to improve their ability to walk after disability caused by brain or spinal cord injury. When I had the accident at the beginning, I was obsessed with how can I walk again? How can I leave ever this wheelchair? But after 2 months, I had a bigger wish than to walk again. Yes, that was, how can I be able to pee again? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, do not, I repeat, do not underestimate ever the power of peeing. Sorry, I'm gonna use the bathroom quickly is something I never say. For you, it's a quick process, going quickly to the bathroom. But I can tell you, when you're in a wheelchair, it's a huge undertaking every time. I will never know anymore whether it was the Locomat or the alternative therapies or just time that gave me my ability back again to pee. But since then, I pee. So I could concentrate now again on the walking. After ending the Locomat program, I went to the United States with Frank and my husband to enroll in a recovery program called Project Walk, and to explore my abilities to walk. There they suggested to me that I could try to walk on a treadmill. So back home, I once again tried to convince my treatment providers to let me do this walking therapy, and again they said no, but now they said also, Funda, it is no use for you. Maybe really you can better work for your acceptance. But I said, from the beginning, you are telling me this, guys. You have never thought that I come so far, isn't it? And I did. And you know why? I had no choice. I could have died in that accident. I didn't. So I can better make the best of it and keep the fire and never give up. Finally, they said yes. And after 4 months, I improved a lot. From walking 4 minutes at a time to 45 minutes. Yes. So you heard a story of fighting, triumph, but believe it or not, I went in a deep depression 6 years after the accident. I worked hard. I had all the recovery programs. I finished it. And my disability, I totally accepted it, I thought. Suddenly, Mr. Depression came along, out of the blue. Where did this come from? Because I turned 50. Oh, thank you for the look. She couldn't tell. But I do. Or was it I didn't get any roles anymore as an actress in a wheelchair, disabled actress? Or was it that I not being more in the in crowd anymore? Or did I then just realize that I really never gonna walk anymore? That I realized that then, even the secret hope, lost? I really didn't care. I lived or died. Suddenly for me, the phone stopped ringing, and for my career, was it my disability? I asked myself, was it the economic crisis? My mind was full of doubt. But then I'm a fighter, and I never give up. So I asked myself, what has always empowered me? Being on stage, being in the nature, physical exercise, sex, yes. I had missing that. No, not the sex. Physical exercise, moving, dancing when I am happy, stamping my feet when I'm angry, feeling my heart pounding when I exercise, physically feeling that I am alive. And then, last summer, the phone rang for a television interview, and the program called The Walk. Yes, seriously, The Walk. So I said, I maybe consider to do this interview, but I'm absolutely not going on a walk sitting in my wheelchair. I cannot imagine myself being pushed by the interviewer and during the conversation. And also I cannot imagine pulling myself and rolling myself and talking at the same time. Oppa. Yes, please. So I said, I want to do this interview, thank you, in the handbike. That's my reality of a walk. But then I realized I wanted to do it in the Berkelbike. That's a special bike that you don't only use your hands, but also your legs. I find the courage to contact the makers of Berkelbike and tell them all about the show. Well, you can imagine they were more than happy to loan me the bike for the show. Meanwhile, I already went out riding with the Berkelbike. It gave me so much happiness. I felt like it brought me back to life again. Wind in my hair, being in the nature, being free and in control. I could bike long distances and could take bridges and mountains without any help. I even biked in the Alps of France. Yes. And it felt like my body, reunited. As if the two halves of my body became one again. And then I got an idea. As a role model for all people, migrants, women, other physical challenged people, I have a dream. Next year, it is officially 50 years ago that Turkish immigrants came to Holland. One of them was my father. And if all goes well, I will, inshallah, go bike about 4,000 kilometers from Holland to Turkey with my Berkelbike. It is the first route that my father then, along with several 100,000 immigrant workers, followed to Europe and Holland. So you can see of my story that I am a fighter and I never give up. There is life after spinal cord injury. No matter what and what happens, the one way or another, I will stand on my own feet. Thank you. Thank you.